Hello, and welcome to my video where I'm going to show you guys how to make some quick silver. All you really have to do is check the market prices. Like right here, I'm going to check in Fort Sterling the tier 6 ore prices, and I can see they're like, 1,350 around that area, or a little bit more obviously. And I'm going to go over to Thetford after this and see the tier 6 prices for those ores. As you can see here, the prices here at Thetford are way higher, so we're probably making around like 300 silver per tier 6 ore that we sell here. So the idea is that we're going to grab as much as we can from Sterling. So I'm going to grab, just for the sake of showing it, I'm going to be grabbing here a tier 5 ox with some boots with the carry weight passive, and I'm also just going to take a tier 5 bag. And with all this, I'm going to grab as much. And also another tip you can do is eating pie will also increase how much you can carry. So that's also a nice little tidbit for you guys. Just eat a pie, and then it'll increase your carry weight so you can have a little bit more. So I just bought as much tier 6 ore as I could from Fort Sterling, and then gonna go through the great journey through the blue and yellow zones, which after doing the run on an ox, obviously if you took like a boar or something, or if you did this on a horse, but you wouldn't be able to carry as much, like, or maybe even a stag would be faster, but you can't, like I said, you can't carry as much. So it depends on how fast you want to do it. I'd rather have like a slow mount that can carry a lot than something that's very fast and you can't carry as much, because the more you have, the more profit you're making, right? But that's also like I said at the beginning, you have to have some silver to be able to invest in this. Like I wouldn't start off at tier 6 if you can't afford it, because here I spent it was like a couple 2 millions in that area, around 2 millions to get this little loadout here. So if you can't afford that, then there's another method you could do before this is just go around and collect rough logs. Like you take a tier 2 or as high as you can tier axe with you, and then just go around and start collecting the rough stone and the rough logs and just selling it, because it's probably one of the fastest way to make silver with absolutely nothing. I might do another video on that tomorrow. I'll show you guys how fast it is to just get like 100,000 silver, like right off the bat, just straight off the tutorial island. Maybe even I'll do it. Let's say you skip tutorial island and you didn't get your 3-day premium, or maybe you've played for a bit and you just lost everything. I'll show you how to go from absolutely nothing to just getting your set back. I'll do that in my next video though. For this one, we're just going to be running all the way over from Fort Sterling to Thetford. And it took me less than 15 minutes to do it on an ox, so it does take a little bit of time, but the amount of profit I'm going to be making off of it is definitely worth it. Yeah, and it's just a simple little method here to just running through the maps. You could listen to music while you're doing this as well, and then obviously the more money you have to invest into a bigger ox or even like a mammoth. If you had a mammoth, transporting this stuff would be way more like profitable. But getting a mammoth is already extremely expensive, and you probably would have to do this method for like a couple hours. You could make a couple million a day if you just did it for a couple hours, and then like it'd probably take you a week still. Like if just doing this every day for a couple hours, and you'd probably get yourself a mammoth, so you can do like even bigger runs. And we finally made it to the Thetford market, and we can finally check what these things sell for. So the quick sell is basically what other players set their buy orders to, which is about the same price that I bought them for inside of Fort Sterling. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to make our own little sell orders, and we're going to slightly undercut whatever price was there previously by like 35 silver. It's not much, but that little difference might be what it needs to be sold quickly. You always want to undercut just a little bit. Obviously, you always want to be in the profit margins. You always want to make as much money as you can, but also make it to where people are actually going to buy it. So I think this is a good price to set it. I hope this was useful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, hopefully.